Starting out for today's 2,500 point battle, I have a double force org list, so I've got a very HQ heavy list. For my troops, I have Guardians on jet bikes with a Warlock with Embolden, 6 of them, 7 including the Warlock, 2 Shuriken Cannons in the unit. Then I have 7 Pathfinders. I've got a 15-man strong unit of Guardians. They have a Shuriken Cannon. The Warlock has Conceal and a Singing Spear. I also have a second unit of Guardians with the exact same loadout. My only elite choice is a Striking Scorpion squad led by Karandras. There's also an Exarch with a Power Fist, and the unit has a full 10 Scorpions in it. For fast attack, I have 3 Vipers. Each one has the Shuriken Cannon upgrade and Shuriken Cannons, so they're essentially a unit I converted after 6th edition hit so that I can make use of being able to fire both heavy weapons. Then of course the Nightwing fills in the other fast attack spot. For heavy support, we have a Night Spinner, a Falcon with Bright Lance, and a Phoenix Bomber. For HQs, we have an Avatar. As I previously mentioned, we also have Karandras leading his squad. Then there is a unit of 4 Warlocks, 3 with Enhance, 1 with Embolden, led by a Farseer. He's a standard Farseer with Fortune. And then we have Eldar Ulthwe. Eldar will be using the powers from the book.
For both my HQs, I have Jane Czar now, who's still a work in progress in terms of paint, but she's going to lead her Banshees hopefully to victory. And my other HQ being Farseer with 2 powers. I ended up getting the power that causes fear, makes things do morale checks, and I also took the one that allows the Psyker to reroll all of their rolls. And in terms of troops, I'm pretty stacked. I've got 2 squads of 10 Wraithguard with Spirit Seers. I have a squad of 5 Rangers, squad of 5 Dire Avengers, squad of 10 Dire Avengers, and a squad of Guardians with what looks like a scatter laser but is actually a Shuriken Cannon. In terms of fast attack, I have, in various stages of construction, my unit of 3 Wasps. They all have Eldar missile launchers, and a Viper with scatter laser and Shuriken Cannon. In heavy support, I have a Night Spinner, and 2 Wraith Lords, one with a sword, one with an Eldar missile launcher and Shuriken Cannon. And on the side I also have a transport for the Howling Banshees with twin-linked Bright Lances. Here we are in the deployment phase. Dan has his Eldar army lined up, a couple hordes of Guardians with the Avatar and Eldrad, giving them, I don't know, double, triple, fearless, whatever. And Karandras leading a squad of Striking Scorpions that infiltrated a tad closer to the relic, which is the type of mission that we're playing. And he's got a Falcon and Night Spinner in back. Meanwhile, I've got everything I can get on the board lined up in a battle line, ready to advance forward. I got my Wraithguard and my soft bodies holding in the middle, which this mysterious terrain is actually a Razorwing nest, which I have experienced much to my dismay in the past. Hopefully they won't eat the brains of my Dire Avengers that are in there, but they'll hold the center of the line, and I've got some bodies on the side to anchor the Wraithguard lines. Otherwise, it's full speed ahead and onwards to turn 1. I go first unless Dan can steal the initiative, and he does not. What a loser. At the end of the top of turn 1, we rolled 4 Night Fight, as was not mentioned in the deployment. And I advanced my entire force forward towards the relic at my own pace. Unfortunately, it's not very fast, but I did manage to do a little bit of damage. Kind of regretting, since there is Night Fight, that I had to go first. But Dan was inflicted with the Night Spinner that took out a Guardian and a Striking Scorpion right in the middle of the pack. They're both affected by the Night Spinner's entanglement, and other than that, I shot a bunch of times at the Falcon, failed to do anything, and met up with a bunch of very high cover saves or armor saves from the Striking Scorpions, which were the closest unit to shoot at and less likely to make the saves. However, I suppose that's the best I can hope for in the first turn. Onwards to the bottom of turn 1.
Bottom of turn 1, I tried to get my Scorpions into combat with the Wraith Guard. I needed a 9 to reach them. I rolled a 7. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but I figured it was worth it anyway. I did lose one Scorpion during that little charge. Otherwise, I just moved my forces up, got Fortune on a unit, and I got Foreboding on Clay's close Wraith Guard there, so they have to reroll any successful saves. Not that that's really going to matter in a moment. And that's pretty much my turn.
The end of the top of turn 2 now. Night fight is over, and I have moved my massive infantry further down the field to try and do something about that relic in the middle. However, due to my traffic jam on my side of the board, I was not able to get all that much closer than what I was before. Within 6 inches, though. And I put a sizable dent in one of the Guardian squads with my Night Spinner. Both Night Spinners have been brutally effective so far this game. And it's only been a turn and a half so far. Meanwhile, my Wraith Guard, those that remained, there were what, 4 left? Yeah, there were. After my rolls for dangerous terrain, I was hammered by dangerous terrain. I lost 3 Wraith Guard, and I lost 2 Guardians, but they moved up nonetheless. Fired on the Striking Scorpions. Lookout Surf thinned out 1 or 2 more, and as Fable pointed out, I made a somewhat baffling decision to charge Karandras and his Striking Scorpions with my remaining Wraith Guard. However, I contend that while tactically it didn't make any sense, it actually worked out favorably because Lookout Surf rolls ended up killing 3 Striking Scorpions. So he now only has 1 left in the squad aside from himself, though he wiped out the Wraith Guard and the Spirit Seer. Beyond that, everything moved forward. Not much else died. Well, the Avatar did take a wound, and I did take out a couple Warlocks. But that is about all that happened, and we move on to the bottom of turn 2.
Here we are at the bottom of turn 2. I had a really good turn this turn, and Clay had a really bad turn. And when I say that, I mean my rolling to hit and to wound was really above average. Clay's was really below average. I did 10 wounds to his Banshees. They got their normal armor saves. He failed 9 of them. The Dire Avengers got vaporized by the jet bikes. The Vipers were actually the ones who took out the Banshees. The Avatar and Karandras and the last Striking Scorpion made it into combat with the Wraith Guard and proceeded to kick the crap out of everyone in range. Clay accepted the Avatar's challenge with the Farseer. The Farseer got splatted. Guardians managed to do some major damage to some Dire Avengers, and the Wraith Lord here got a wound put on him from the Night Spinner. The Wraith Lord that was over here actually took 2 wounds from the Rangers, took another wound, his final wound, from the Falcon, and then the Night Spinner was able to blow up a jumper. The Night Wing, yes, was able to do that. And this unit of Guardians right here, sitting around with Eldrad, just trying to look cool, they managed to put a hull point on the Viper. All in all, I had a much better turn than I anticipated, primarily because the dice really favored me this turn. That's out on the top of turn 3.
Top of turn 3, and things look grim for Ulthwe and Iyanden. This is not the first time, nor will it be the last time. However, I've managed to make a furious counterattack and do a little, I guess. My Night Spinner dropped an excellent template on this bulk here. Failed to wound anything. Well, it successfully wounded things, but armor saves were made, and armor AP rolls were failed. I don't know. Meanwhile, on the other end of the board, I did take out the Falcon with my Wasps. Good job, boys. I moved my troops up. What's left of them, at least. I took out the small Seer Council and the Guardian Squad. Jane Czar, first time I've used her. She made it into combat. She wiped out some Guardians. Woohoo! It was exciting. And my second Wraithguard squad is gone, thanks to Karandras, who is now unengaged. I moved my Wraithlord in to attack the Avatar. They dealt a wound each to each other. I suspect he's not going to last the end of the turn. He has only one wound left, whereas the Avatar has two. And the Avatar will get to go first. We also await the arrival of the Phoenix, not all that eagerly, because it will destroy whatever it shoots at, and I have very few targets left on the board. So let's get on with it.
At the bottom of turn 3, my Phoenix came on. I managed to evaporate all the troops from this area. The only model left is Jane Czar, who I managed to miss with all but 2 of my attacks from Karandras, and then I managed to roll 2 1s to wound, and 2 and up. So she still lives. Clay did a great impression of Curly from the Three Stooges. The Avatar did manage to kill off the Wraithlord that he was locked in combat with. The jet bikes took out the Viper and then did their little assault move. The Vipers took out Dire Avengers. The Nightwing did get 1 penetrating hit on the Night Spinner, but Clay made his 5-up. I think that's the first one he's made all game.
Yeah, that may actually be very literally true.
And then my Night Spinner missed huge. My Guardians have Foreboding on them, although I don't know. They probably won't get charged this turn since Jane Czar is locked in. This promises to be a quick turn. The game has actually moved as a whole much quicker than I expected.
And things are looking even worse for me after the Avatar made a bunch of saves. And let's see. My Night Spinner made it so one of the Vipers couldn't shoot. And Jane Czar was pummeled into submission by Karandras after my unusual string of luck in surviving a round of combat. Onwards to the bottom of turn 4, and I don't know, this might be it.
This is the bottom of turn 4, and this is the only thing of Clay's left on the table, is a fully operational Wasp. The Rangers got vaporized by the Avatar. The Night Spinner took slow damage from the Phoenix and the Vipers to take it out. The Wave Serpent got blown up in combat with Eldar and the Warlock. And the jet bikes have captured the relic. That's pretty much all we've got left. About the only thing that didn't go my way and ruined Clay's day was that Karandras rolled an 8 when he needed a 10 on the charge there. Otherwise, this has been a really horrible dice day for him.
This is the top of turn 5. I have a Wasp left. As you can see, the pilot decided to wisely eject from his machine as he faced down the Avatar and failed to hit with his missiles. And now we will see what happens. I think he's probably going to die.
At the bottom of turn 5, Clay has been tabled.
That was brutal.
a very harsh game. That was probably the most one-sided game I've seen in this edition.
Yeah, and I don't really think it had anything to do with the edition. I think it just, you had a better army than mine, and you rolled better than me.
You couldn't make an armor save.
No, I literally could not.
I commented to Clay at one point, I think it was top of turn 4, before he finally made a 5-up save.
Yeah.
And it was the Night Spinner.
Yep.
And at that point, the game was already way out of hand.
It wasn't even really 5-up saves, because I didn't have that many opportunities. It was the 4-up saves.
Yeah. Yeah, that one round where I took out more than half your Banshees.
You took out all but 3.
Yeah.
Took out 7 Banshees from, like, 8 shots.
Yeah. And then the Dire Avengers got whittled down that same turn. And in combat, the Wraith Guard just...
Oh yeah, they just melted.
Yeah.
And I lost half my Guardians, I lost half my other Dire Avenger squad, my 10-man Dire Avenger squad, to dangerous terrain rolls. Yeah, it was just bad. But you did, I think you did have a better army and a better strategy than me. I didn't bring my Nightwing, which was a mistake. I didn't even think about your air assets, and you just had things more concentrated. It was interesting to have a Phoenix Lord on both sides, though.
Yes, yes. For the most part, I actually didn't feel like the Flyers made that huge a contribution to the game. I mean, the Phoenix arrived late, and by the time he arrived, he, killed a Guardian squad?
Yeah, well, imagine if things weren't completely out of hand by then.
Yeah, yeah.
They were insurance.
Yeah.
I think of it as insurance. Because you didn't even need them.
Yeah. Yeah, just the frailness of the Wraith Guard this game is what really surprised me, and I use them pretty often, so I know how resilient they can be, and just, you know, you were getting killed on the saves. That Misfortune power.
That was very useful.
There were times where he would make armor saves, and he would have, you know, 2 guys out of 3 make an armor save, and then suddenly all 3 are dead because of Misfortune. That was really powerful, this game. But I also had a few random really lucky rolls when that Striking Scorpion, just a basic Scorpion, hit the Wraith Guard.
3 Wraith Guard out of 4 attacks.
Wounded 3 times, and managed to kill all 3 guys, thanks to Misfortune being combined with it. But
that was madness.
It was madness. It really was. The jet bikes, once again, are the ones who actually captured the relic for me, but I think even had they been tied up with something else, the Guardians with Eldar would have been able to do it.
And you didn't even need to capture it.
Yeah.
You'd have won either way.
Yeah.
Because I didn't take your Warlord. I didn't get First Blood. I didn't have Linebreaker. I didn't have anything left. So
yeah.
So I couldn't get Linebreaker. Everything was for you. So that was a very one-sided battle.
The charge of the Wraith Guard early game.
I thought that worked out well actually in the end, because you would have charged them otherwise in the following turn and gotten right into the thick of that flank. I didn't. I thought either I would get another Overwatch when you charged me, and you would get more attacks, or I could get double attacks on the charge. I thought it actually ended up working well because I killed off like 3 or 4 Striking Scorpions. But I know you think it was.
I felt like even if I was going to charge and slaughter that squad, you gave me the option to kill 2 units with my Striking Scorpions in that one turn.
Yeah.
Rather than limiting me to just 1 by forcing me to charge. That was my thought on it.
Yeah.
I know you got to kill an extra, 3 Scorpions?
I did. Yeah. And I don't feel as though I would have killed any if you had charged me.
The terrain setup had a lot to do with how Clay started placing the one piece of terrain that was going in the sections of my table. It was smart but dickish.
Yeah, I came to the realization quickly that you're better off putting the bad terrain in your opponent's side than putting good terrain in yours first.
And in a really bad spot, might I add. So what ended up happening is I held my army back, and I just let him go towards the relic. And that was essentially my plan in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was just sit back and wait for you to come to it and hope that you couldn't do too much damage to me by the time you got there, and I could sort of move in late. What I was mainly expecting to happen, because I know how normally resilient the Wraith Guard are, I thought we would have a prolonged combat right at the center of the board.
Yeah.
And I was planning on using the jet bikes to kind of sneak in behind it,
Yeah.
grab the relic, and run.
But no, what actually happened was both my flanks folded in the second turn.
Yeah.
Do you have a unit of match?
I would probably say Karandris.
Really?
He did eventually put down Jane Czar. He did.
Actually, he did. You're right.
Of wounds on the Wraith Guard.
Yeah, he just mopped up.
Yeah, he took out what 4 or 5 a turn.
Yeah.
You know, that I'd say would have to be him. A very close second would be the Avatar.
Really? Because you know what I would say for the second? I would have probably said Eldrad for Eldrad's psychic power.
Misfortune. Yeah, that's another good option. I mean, I just had a few really key units. And I invested a lot into HQs, and the only one that was pretty much a total bust was the Farseer with the Warlocks. Yeah. Did you have a unit of the match?
No. I didn't have a unit of the match because nothing excelled. Nothing even performed its job competently. I mean, when it came down to it, I guess the Guardians, because they.
I was going to say the Night Spinner.
No, not even the Night Spinner.
No, it took out a huge chunk of Guardians.
Yeah, but that was it. Then after that, it was like, oh, you didn't really take anything beyond that first volley. You didn't take anything to dangerous terrain.
Yeah, it took 3 Guardians.
And you weren't really affected by it either. You were rolling well with the difficult terrain.
Yeah.
So it was, after I put a hole in that first Guardian squad, that was about it. And I mean, honestly, that didn't make a difference in the end anyways, because I got a chance to charge Jane Czar in against that squad.
Yeah, to finish them off.
Other than that, it was another game.
This one wasn't the nail-biter that we usually get.
No.
We usually have it come down to, oh my god, is it going to be another... that roll for the last turn is like so tense, because... the next turn could swing things one way or another.
We didn't even have to make a roll this game.
Yeah.
Except for Night Fight, which screwed me as well. I think we've just about beaten this horse to death.
Yes.
And it's time to put her to bed. Another good game. And good night. I think I got the noise. Well, no, probably didn't pick it up. Anyways,